What's good, Black Star Podcast? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jared. Y'all, today we're gonna be looking at a video from the actual Justice Warrior. It's a YouTube channel with 433k subscribers. I want you guys to look at this because apparently Chicago squatters are literally doing this shit, and this is insane. Wait a minute, let me make sure this damn thing is actually working. Okay, it is. Look at this bullshit.
The homeowner as next level squatting. She and her husband say the person inside is posing as the new owner with bogus mortgage documents. They are demanding that laws be changed to protect property owners, and one state lawmaker is working to do just that.
So recently on this channel, we covered a serial squatter in and around the city of Chicago in the surrounding suburbs, and what made that particular individual so bad was the fact that not only was he squatting on one particular homeowner as a part of an extortion scheme, but after he ended up getting his payout, which by the way, he left the place trashed anyway, even though they paid him money to leave, he immediately jumped into another property that was just listed, and we ultimately ended up discovering that this person had done this maybe half a dozen to a dozen times and received payout after payout for his trouble. Now, of course, that guy was arrested. That was a good thing. After the police were able to compare, when people started coming forward after the local news segment, all these different various documents only to discover that they were the same, he was charged with those crimes, although he maintains that he is just somebody who gets repeatedly scammed by real estate agents and by brokers, and he's...
How the fuck do you have a property and you have squatters' rights on the books? When the fuck did that ever... I know it's been on the law, on the books for a long ass time, but when the fuck did these people become... will have the rights to break into your shit and have the ability to not get fucking arrested? That's what I'm trying to fucking figure out. When the fuck did this shit work?
Is the unluckiest man in the entire world. No, I'm not joking about that. But this particular scam is taking it to the next level. Not only are these people pretending that they're the occupants of this home, but unlike those other ones where they're saying that they're the renters, these people are claiming that they actually paid a mortgage for the property.
How the fuck do you obtain fake mortgage documents? Where in the hell does that shit work? Somebody, please tell me, where the fuck did this shit ever work? Because from what I'm seeing, this is some straight bullshit if I ever knew. Man, y'all, but what the hell is going on in this damn country?
And they are the new owners. And of course, the actual owners of the home who fixed it up in order to sell it, they're totally screwed over after they put in $145,000 to revitalize this particular property. It's absolutely disgusting in every possible way, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
Since Thursday, we have been fighting to get these people out of our property.
Standing in the rain, practically begging a stranger to move out of their home. Marcia and Carlton Lee never thought they'd be facing off with an alleged squatter.
Someone is in my house saying that they moved in a month ago. I am livid right now.
Now again, just like the previous...
Only in America do they have a bullshit law on the books that allows people to break into your shit and claim squatters' rights. Only in America does this shit happen. Boy, if I was a... See, this is why I don't own a damn property, because if it was me, I would have shot the motherfucker that's breaking my shit. That's the first thing. What the hell?
Previous squatter story that we talked about, where we had a pair of black women who were fixing up and selling a property in order for them to make a living. Right here you see a couple, a black couple that is being screwed over by this extortionary system. Now, of course, there are defenders of this. If you guys will remember, the Majority Report made videos very critical of Ana Kasparian, very angry at people who were highlighting the squatter issue, where they took the position that there are no squatters' rights, they don't exist at all, there is no squatting problem, but also squatters are good and they need to be protected, and of course we should pass squatters' rights into law.
There's no like actual like squatters' rights in New York, at least. There should be, but
to the extent they exist anywhere, it's because the alternative.
Did that nigga just say? Did that motherfucker just say there should be squatters' rights in New York?
Is brutality that people actually can't fathom, even in like bygone years. Like that's why squatters laws exist in like England or whatever. It's because like otherwise you just can't. Because we're so used to enforcing, like, bending society towards the capitalist needs now that we can't even fathom how these sorts of rights could have ever been enshrined for people that...
Capitalist? Motherfucker! You pay to damn stay at place, okay? Yes. In the words of the land, everybody should have a damn... everybody should have a home. But here's the problem. Yes, everybody should have a home, but problem is, people don't want to work for the shit.
That just need shelter.
Now, the reason I highlight that clip from the Majority Report, and I will continue to highlight that clip from the Majority Report, is because many of you out there in the audience are thinking, who's in favor of these laws? Who's in favor of protecting squatters? Who's in favor of a situation where the legitimate owner can be charged criminally for removing these people, but these people can steal an entire home or an entire apartment, and of course, that becomes a civil matter, and it is the progressive left. They are the defenders of this. They consider it brutality for you to not pay into this extortion scheme, and they don't give a damn who's affected by this.
Notice something. The one that said that there should be squatters' rights is the one that looks the craziest.
These people own a property, therefore they are subhuman to the progressive left, and they are deserving of losing their home.
Marcia says she came by her property last week to show it to a prospective buyer. To her surprise, she says a family of 3 and their dog had moved in.
I have a realtor standing on the sidewalk waiting to see this property. The buyer is across the street. He gets out, and I had to apologize and let them know, like, I can't show you this home right now.
She and her husband came back with police. They say a woman who identified herself as Stacy claimed that she bought the home back in February and was the new owner.
And they said, we've been here for a month. I said, no, you haven't. I just showed this property 2 days ago.
So of course, like any upstanding, law-abiding Americans, what they do in this situation when somebody has broken into their home was call the police. And of course, the police end up showing up. She ends up presenting a phony, fraudulent mortgage document, a story about how she bought the home back in February. By the way, we're in the month of April, but this woman knows that's false because she quite literally showed this property 2 days prior, and these people had to have moved in the 2 days since she had last been at this property, showing it to another prospective buyer. But what ends up happening in this scenario? And we talk about this a lot on this channel. Somebody breaks into your home under normal circumstances to steal your stuff, they get arrested, they get charged with felony burglary. But of course, what we find out due to these squatter protections that, again, progressives advocate for, despite the fact that they are well aware of the fact that these are scams, if you steal the home, somehow that becomes a civil issue, and then again, the homeowner is the person who might be facing criminal charges.
Civil issue. See, that's the problem with the law. Anything you do to these people, you get arrested for. But the moment that they break into your shit, it ain't the damn law's problem. Until it affects the people who made the fucking law. That's how that works. They don't give a shit unless it affects them. Son bitches.
They say the woman showed them this mortgage document, but after looking closely, Marcia says she noticed the property pin was inaccurate. The ABC7i team did some digging and learned the pin matches a house in Country Club Hills, not this Southside property.
This documentation is not valid, so she's trespassing on my property.
But the couple says police still wouldn't remove them.
Oh, you're both victims. We can't make her get out. They're laughing at me as they're telling me that this is a civil matter.
So yeah, the document is clearly and obviously fraudulent. Apparently all these different various homes and properties have a number that is, sequenced and ready for the state or the county to assign deeds to. This document has the wrong number on it. It's not even in this part of town, and yet the police can still not actually engage these people. And what
So you telling me that you proved that they got falsified documents. You prove that they're lying. You prove that they broke into your shit. You prove that they're trespassing on your property. And yet, the police can't do shit. Where in the ribbity-rabbit bullshit is this?
We end up finding out is the obvious, which is this is of course a scam, a scheme. They're quite literally laughing at them, telling them it's a civil matter. And again, I just want to point out that if these were people who legitimately bought a home and they got scammed by some unscrupulous real estate developer or some such thing, then they should A, have documentation like a loan from a bank that matches that. Of course they do not. The police can't even look for that because it's considered a civil matter whenever you have a dispute between a tenant and an owner. But B, they wouldn't know right off the cuff immediately that this would be considered a civil matter unless, of course, they're running this particular scheme. So these people end up calling the local news. This is the same exact agency, by the way, that did the story on the serial squatter that we covered before, and they're hoping that that attention, and by the way, I'm hoping that my magnified attention on this particular case can result in these people being booted and arrested for their crimes. We have forgery of a document, we have breaking in, trespassing, I would say burglary too, because you're breaking in with an intent to commit a felony, which is stealing the whole damn home, and they should face serious criminal charges for this.
We saw your story before, we like your coverage, that's why you were the first one that we called, because we want action.
Illinois State Representative LaShawn Ford says he's working hard in Springfield to crack down on squatting.
It's happening, as you know, across the state, and it puts owners and landlords in a bad position.
As rent prices continue to soar, he believes the problem is only going to get worse in Illinois.
Once they get in, the landlord has to go through what you call the Forcible Entry Act in order to evict them. That means that they have to go to court.
So once again, we hear this.
All I heard was all I heard when he said forcible entry is squat. Open up. And then everybody going in. Breaking shit. Everybody running. Everybody scared as hell. That's all I heard when I heard that. Forcible entry. Yep. Get the squad team. Bring the APC on this motherfucker too. Yeah, we going in here like the fucking military. You breaking my shit? Oh yeah, I'm coming in that bitch like a damn tomcat.
The same exact thing that we've heard in a bunch of different various cities and states, and I will remind you that until Florida fixed their laws, this was popular there. These scams are actually popular in cities like Houston and a bunch of different places in Texas because these people are operating in this scam zone, again, being encouraged by progressives, being encouraged by the fact that many of the people running these scams actually get a payout, and it's absolutely disgusting in every possible way. But until you change the laws, until you react with the force, with the consequences that are necessary to deter this, you're going to see this keep happening. And when we get a positive ID on these individuals, I will not be surprised to discover that they've been running this scheme multiple different times. They've been paid out by other people that probably will come forward to the local news because they'll recognize the dog. Although, unfortunately, throughout the course of this segment, they don't appear to have any images of the people that are occupying this particular property. But this is what these progressives want when they're advocating and fighting against changing these laws. And I need you guys to understand that this is even a bastardization of squatters' rights laws, which is when somebody abandons a property and then someone else ends up showing up, they fix the property, they maintain it for years. It's a way to protect that person who had every reason to believe that the property was abandoned, who actually put the labor and effort into said property, from being dispossessed of their investment in, again, a dilapidated property. This is not happening in the modern world.
Again, until it affects somebody that's in a government position to where they got to deal with this shit, the laws won't fucking change. To me, it's quite disrespectful. It's disrespectful because you have people working harder than hell to make sure they damn properties are good, trying to set up properly, going the legal way. Then you got bums. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it a buck. These people are bum ass people. They don't want to go out there and work. They don't want to go out there and do shit. They break into your shit, fuck up your shit, claiming squatters' rights. The police can't do shit because of the laws. And then You looking around like, man, what the fuck? Man, couldn't be me. Chicago or Illinois in this particular matter. Your state representatives and your state government don't give a damn about y'all. I'm gonna just let y'all know that right now, because if this shit's on the fucking books and these people doing this, boy, you know what? I'm gonna say this. The whole United States need to be looking at squatters' rights and looking to damn take that shit away. Anyways, like, share, subscribe to the channel, support the podcast on Spotify.com. If you guys want to support the podcast, please go to blackstarmerch.com, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys.